Chapter 8 of 813. This recording is in the public domain. 813 by Maurice Leblanc. Chapter 8. The olive green frock coat. 12:15, in a restaurant near the Madeleine. The prince is at lunch. The two young men sit down at the next table. He bows to them and begins to speak to them, as to friends whom he has met by chance. "Are you going on the expedition, eh?" "Yes." "How many men altogether?" "6, I think. Each goes down by himself. We're to meet M. Weber at 1:45, near the House of Retreat." "Very well, I shall be there." "What?" "Am I not leading the expedition? And isn't it my business to find M. Lenormand, seeing that I have announced it publicly?" "Then you believe that M. Lenormand is not dead, governor?" "I'm sure of it." "Do you know anything?" "Yes, since yesterday I know for certain that Altenheim and his gang took M. Lenormand and Gourel to the bridge at Bougival and heaved them overboard. Gourel sank, but M. Lenormand managed to save himself. I shall furnish all the necessary proofs when the time comes." "But then if he's alive, why doesn't he show himself?" "Because he's not free." "Is what you said true, then? Is he in the cellars of the Villa des Glycines?" "I have every reason to think so." "But how do you know? What clue?" "That's my secret. I can tell you one thing: the revelation will be what shall I say? Sensational. Have you finished?" "Yes." "My car is behind the Madeleine. Join me there." At Garches, Sernine sent the motor away, and they walked to the path that led to Geneviève's school. There he stopped. "Listen to me, lads. This is of the highest importance. You will ring at the House of Retreat. As inspectors, you have your right of entry, have you not? You will then go to the Pavillon Hortense, the empty one. There you will run down to the basement and you will find an old shutter, which you have only to lift to see the opening of a tunnel which I discovered lately and which forms a direct communication with the Villa des Glycines. It was by means of this that Gertrude and Baron Altenheim used to meet. And it was this way that M. Lenormand passed, only to end by falling into the hands of his enemies." "You think so, governor?" "Yes, I think so. And now the point is this: you must go and make sure that the tunnel is exactly in the condition in which I left it last night, that the two doors which bar it are open, and that there is still, in a hole near the second door, a parcel wrapped in a piece of black cloth which I put there myself." "Are we to undo the parcel?" "No, that's not necessary. It's a change of clothes. Go, and don't let yourselves be seen more than you can help. I will wait for you." 10 minutes later they were back. "The two doors are open," said one of the Doudevilles. "And the black cloth parcel?" "In its place near the second door." "Capital. It is 1:25. Weber will be arriving with his champions. They are to watch the villa. They will surround it as soon as Altenheim is inside. I have arranged with Weber that I shall ring the bell. The door will be opened and I shall have my foot inside the citadel. Once there, I have my plan. Come, I've an idea that we shall see some fun." And Sernine, after dismissing them, walked down the path to the school, soliloquizing as he went: "All bodes well. The battle will be fought on the ground chosen by myself. I am bound to win. I shall get rid of my two adversaries and I shall find myself alone engaged in the Kesselbach case. Alone, with two whacking trump cards, Pierre Leduc and Steinweg, besides the king, that is to say, Bibi. Only there's one thing: what is Altenheim up to? Obviously, he has a plan of attack of his own. On which side does he mean to attack me? And how does it come that he has not attacked me yet? It's rather startling. Can he have denounced me to the police?" He went along the little playground of the school. The pupils were at their lessons. He knocked at the door. "Ah, is that you?" said Mme. Ernemont, opening the door. "So you have left Geneviève in Paris?" "For me to do that, Geneviève would have to be in Paris," he replied. "So she has been, seeing that you sent for her." "What's that?" he exclaimed, catching hold of her arm. "Why, you know better than I." "I know nothing. I know nothing. Speak." "Didn't you write to Geneviève to meet you at the Gare Saint-Lazare?" "And did she go?" "Why, of course! You were to lunch together at the Hôtel Ritz." "The letter. Show me the letter." She went to fetch it and gave it to him. "But, wretched woman, couldn't you see that it was a forgery? The handwriting is a good imitation, but it's a forgery. Any one can see that." He pressed his clenched hands to his temples with rage. "That's the move I was wondering about. Oh, the dirty scoundrel! He's attacking me through her. But how does he know? No, he doesn't know. He's tried it on twice now; and it's because of Geneviève, because he's taken a fancy to her. Oh, not that. Never. Listen, Victoire, are you sure that she doesn't love him? Oh, I'm losing my head. Wait, I must think. This isn't the moment. He looked at his watch. 25 minutes to 2. I have time. Idiot that I am. Time to do what? How do I know where she is? He walked up and down like a madman; and his old nurse seemed astounded at seeing him so excited, with so little control of himself. "After all," she said, "there is nothing to prove that she did not suspect the trap at the last moment. Where could she be? I don't know. Perhaps at Mrs. Kesselbach's. That's true, that's true. You're right!" he cried, filled with sudden hope. And he set out at a run for the House of Retreat. On the way, near the gate, he met the brothers Doudeville, who were entering the porter's lodge. The lodge looked out on the road, and this enabled them to watch the approaches to the Villa des Glycines. Without stopping, he went straight to the Pavillon de l'Impératrice, called Suzanne and told her to take him to Mrs. Kesselbach. "Geneviève?" he asked. "Geneviève? Yes, hasn't she been here?" "No, not for several days." "But she is to come, is she not?" "Do you think so?" "Why, I'm certain of it. Where do you think she is? Can you remember?" "It's no use my trying. I assure you that Geneviève and I had made no arrangement to see each other." And suddenly alarmed, "But you're not anxious, are you? Has anything happened to Geneviève?" "No, nothing." He had already left the room. An idea had occurred to him. Suppose Altenheim were not at the Villa des Glycines? Suppose the hour of the meeting had been changed? "I must see him," he said to himself. "I must, at all costs." And he ran along with a disordered air, indifferent to everything. But in front of the lodge he at once recovered his composure. He had caught sight of the deputy chief of the detective service talking to the brothers Doudeville in the garden. Had he commanded his usual acute discernment, he would have perceived the little start which M. Weber gave as he approached, but he saw nothing. "M. Weber, I believe?" he asked. "Yes. To whom have I the honour?" "Prince Sernine." "Ah, very good. Monsieur le Préfet de Police has told me of the great service which you are doing us, monsieur." "That service will not be complete until I have handed the ruffians over to you." "That won't take long. I believe that one of those ruffians has just gone in. A powerful looking man, with a swarthy complexion." "Yes, that's Baron Altenheim. Are your men here, M. Weber?" "Yes, concealed along the road, at 200 yards from this." "Well, M. Weber, it seems to me that you might collect them and bring them to this lodge. From here we will go to the villa. As Baron Altenheim knows me, I presume they will open the door to me and I will go in with you." "It's an excellent plan," said M. Weber. "I shall come back at once." He left the garden and walked down the road, in the opposite direction to the Villa des Glycines. Sernine quickly took one of the brothers Doudeville by the arm. "Run after him, Jacques. Keep him engaged. Long enough for me to get inside the Glycines. And then delay the attack as long as you can. Invent pretexts. I shall want 10 minutes. Let the villa be surrounded, but not entered. And you, Jean, go and post yourself in the Pavillon Hortense, at the entrance to the underground passage. If the baron tries to go out that way, break his head." The Doudeville moved away, as ordered. The prince slipped out and ran to a tall gate, barred with iron, which was the entrance to the Glycines. Should he ring? There was no one in sight. With one bound, he leapt upon the gate, placing his foot on the lock; and, hanging on to the bars, getting a purchase with his knees and hoisting himself up with his wrists, he managed, at the risk of falling on the sharp points of the bars, to climb over the gate and jump down. He found a paved courtyard, which he crossed briskly, and mounted the steps of a pillared peristyle, on which the windows looked out. These were all closed to the very top, with full shutters. As he stood thinking how he should make his way into the house, the door was half opened, with a noise of iron that reminded him of the door in the Villa Dupont, and Altenheim appeared. "I say, prince, is that the way you trespass on private property? I shall be forced to call in the gendarmes, my dear fellow." Sernine caught him by the throat, and throwing him down on a bench: "Geneviève? Where is Geneviève? If you don't tell me what you've done with her, you villain!" "Please observe," stammered the baron, "that you are making it impossible for me to speak." Sernine released his hold of him. "To the point, and look sharp. Answer. Geneviève?" "There is one thing," replied the baron, "which is much more urgent, especially where fellows like you and me are concerned, and that is to feel one's self at home." And he carefully closed the front door, which he barricaded with bolts. Then, leading Sernine to the adjoining drawing room, a room without furniture or curtains, he said: "Now, I'm your man.